My name is Francis Okumagba, the president and founder of FMG Empowerment Company Limited. FMG is the acronym for Free Mentorship Grooming. I actually set up a platform called FMG where I create the enabling environment to mentor and counsel people on how to create wealth and multiply wealth. One of the greatest problems we have in Nigeria today is poverty and unemployment. I have a solution that can reduce poverty and unemployment by over 20 to 30%. Money flows in the streets of Nigeria. Nigerians are not picking it because of the wrong orientation that we have. The style of education that we have in Nigeria is education that a lot of people cannot interpret and apply. Okay. People go to school and read various professions, and they come out and they are not able to actually make use of what they've read. Because the colonial masters who brought education into Nigeria taught us because they required interpreters, civil servants that will work for them, and teachers. So they tailored our education system in a way where they just teach people to apply what they've taught them. So people get taught and regurgitate what they are taught. So because of the style of education we have, a lot of people come out of the university and they are not able to apply themselves. I have seen the gap in the industry and in Nigeria, and what I've done with my experience, my years of experience in the banking industry, having spent 25 years in the banking industry, and the exposure that I have in Canada where I traveled and spent some time in Canada, got the stint in Canada and was able to get exposed to how wealth is created and wealth is transferred. So I created this platform where I now teach people and mentor people on how to actually see how education can be applied. And that's what I'm doing now. FMG has been on for over 4 years. But I will tell you that in the past 2 years, we have actually made a mark and we have actually consolidated. Now we actually understand our target audience and how to reach our target audience. And we have actually improved on what we started with. Like I told you, I spent 25 years in the banking industry, rose to be executive director of one of the big banks, and left the banking industry as an executive director. So the exposure and experience that I have is what I used and looked at what the gap we have in the environment and all that, and I started this whole scheme. When I started initially, it was very difficult because a lot of people used to feel and think that what I was talking about is multi-level marketing, because that's how they used to see it. Because we tell them, go and bring all the people you know who don't have access to creating wealth. So when they think of the idea of, oh, I have to tell someone that is jobless to come and all that, they've sensed it that, oh, this is the game of talking to people and getting people to bring this and talk to other people. But what we actually do is mentorship. And that's what we have been doing. And today we have fine-tuned it. And now we can actually expose people to how they can start most businesses without 1 naira in their pocket. Okay. If you look at the people that I've actually impacted on, you can't count the number of people. Because I go for television programs, I'm invited to churches, I'm invited to a lot of cooperatives, and I'm also invited to a lot of organizations that I get to talk to them and expose them to different things. For instance, I had a program on NTA. I've had programs on NTA Conversations severally, where I'm invited to come and talk about how to motivate people, to expose them to how they can create wealth and all that. So the audience is international. I have actually calls from England, I have some calls from places like Sokoto, Warri, Calabar, people asking questions, oh, that thing you said, how can somebody start a business without 1 naira in his pocket? How can somebody use a pot of soup to make 1 million naira? So I get a lot of audience from all that. But I have also created a platform where people want me to mentor them, pay a token fee, and they actually get into my program, my mentorship program, where I actually put them through on how they can actually create those things that I talk about. In that platform, we have over 3,800 members today who have paid the 20,000 naira fee to be members of the platform. And they enjoy a lot of benefit doing that because they get continuous counseling and mentorship from us. There is no employment that is good enough. Divide whatever you earn monthly by 30 days. You will see what it translates to. A young lady walked into my office, for instance, and told me, I hear you teach people how to be rich, and I would like to be rich. And I asked this young lady, what do you do for a living? She said she's a marketer. I said, how much do they pay you in this marketing job that you do? He said, they pay you 30,000 naira a month. I said, divided by 30 days, I will know how much it translates to on a daily basis. It translates to 1,000 naira a day. And I asked the young lady, how much do you pay to and fro to where you go to work? He said, 600 naira. I said, how much do you eat during the break time every day? He said, 500 naira. I said, how much do you spend on the average on your airtime, your phone and data? He said, 200 naira. It translated to a negative of 300 naira. That is what employment is. And I was there for 25 years. You know, when you get into the banking industry, you get popped up. They pay you good salary. Before you know what is happening, they promote you and they make you a manager. The sense of importance and feeling of, oh, I'm in charge and all that. As you get good in what you are doing, they give you some more promotion and they make you an assistant general manager. I was in that track, looking forward to becoming MD. There was no direction. I didn't imagine that I have skills that I can actually use to create wealth and actually use to actually make 10 times what I earn with one transaction. So I quit. When I got to executive director's level, I quit and relocated to Canada, also thinking that the greener pastures are there. And when I get there, I will be able to do so much. But I got to Canada, got exposed to their environment and saw what they were doing. And I looked at it and I said, if I apply what I am doing here in Nigeria, I will make a lot of people billionaires. So I packed my things and relocated back to Nigeria. So I'm in Nigeria now, and I set up FMG Platform. So anybody that is in employment, you are just there, coasting, wasting your youth, taking things that you take for granted. You just be there. You are locked up there, assuming that, oh, one day I will get out. You can imagine people who work in the civil service. Some of them actually put all their youth in civil service. They go into the civil service hoping to become director or PAMSEC. But what percentage of them can become PAMSEC and directors? Only 1% of them. But you have a lot of them who lock themselves up in employment for 30 years and earn salaries that don't take them home in 2 weeks. There is no salary that is good enough. I realized that at the peak of my career when I was already executive director, and I got out, and what I'm doing now is exciting to me. I put smiles in the faces of people that I talk to, and I continuously impact on people. And when I see people making success out of what I present and show them, it gives me a lot of excitement. And you know, when you want to retire from paid employment and all that, you should do something you enjoy so that as you go on, you can give back to society. And that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm excited about it. You know, Nigeria is the investment bride of the world. Money flows in the streets of Nigeria. And my biggest challenge is how can I reach out to the people that needs to know? That's my biggest challenge. How can I reach out to state government and tell state governors that I can reduce unemployment in their state by over 20 to 30% given the opportunity? How can I bridge the gap among the donor agencies and a lot of development agencies who come to Nigeria to want to support causes, and they are frustrated because they cannot go through government because of the bureaucracy, and they cannot go through the private sector companies because a lot of the private sector individuals open briefcase companies and they come out and assume and get people to think that they know what they are doing. So a lot of those donor agencies repatriate their money back outside the country continuously. How can I have access to those displaced people that are in all those camps to actually go there and liberate them from staying in places where they can actually go out the next day and start doing business? How can I go to the NYC camp and also tell those coppers that they should not leave the youth service camp without having being equipped to become entrepreneurs? I have a lot of people to reach out to, and my problem is I can't reach out to too many people. So what I'm trying to do now is to look at the ways I can actually collaborate with organizations like yours, organizations like churches, NGOs, government agencies, state governors, the federal government and development agencies, to see how we can collaborate and work together to expose people, expose more people to how they can actually open their eyes to see the money that flows in the streets of Nigeria and how they can pick it easily. So my challenge is, who can I collaborate with to make this happen? And I look forward to seeing people that I can collaborate with. Even churches and the mosque. I'm also looking at the opportunity of churches calling on me to come and talk to their congregation. People get sick today and go to the hospital because they are sick and they don't eat well and because of poverty. There are a lot who go to the church today and they are looking for miracles and how they can actually get salvation and all that. Most of the things that carry them to these new Pentecostal churches today is how they can get miracles that can keep them going. There is nowhere people go to when they don't know what to do to create wealth. I've created a platform and I'm inviting everybody. If people eat well, if people know what to do, if people know that they can make money from little or nothing, they can start a business, they can open a shop without 1 naira in their pocket. They can actually use 10,000 naira capital to 20,000 naira capital and buy any food item you can think about and create a business out of it and make 1 million naira a month. We will not have a lot of people go to the hospital. People will go to the church for this reason of serving God and not for forgetting how they can get money make money through church. Everything you need to succeed is around you. I can show you how to build an estate without 1 naira in your pocket. Because we have a lot of people who have land, they don't have money to build. We have people who have money idle in the bank doing nothing. And we have people that are intelligent and had ideas like us who don't know what to do because we don't have the money and we don't have the land. I will meet the person that has land and offer to build an estate on his land and give him some of the houses there. And when he sells those houses, it will be 3 times or 4 times the value of the land that he has. I get him signed in the agreement and I get the title document. I go to the person that has money in the bank, with money is idle in the bank, and I tell the person I will double the money you have in your bank without touching the money. Well, if you give me the money, it probably will get into my head. Leave the money in your bank. Use to get a bank guarantee. I will assure that person that I will give him double that amount of money at the end of the day. Because a lot of people who have money don't know what to do with their monies. And using my idea, I will call the construction company and offer to give them a contract with the promise of giving them a bank guarantee that they can use to secure the contract. They go and start doing the estate. As they are doing the estate, assuming they have 100 bungalows to sell in the estate, I sell the first 40 to people that are buying at half the price. And I tell them, don't give me the money, put the money in the bank until I give you the keys to the house. So secure and let them know that buying the property at 50% discount does not make any difference to me. When I sell 40% of that estate, I give the money in the bank, waiting to pay the construction company when they finish building the estate. When they finish building the first 40, I give them the money for the first 40 to start doing the next 40. When I sell the next 20, it gives me the money to double the money of the person that put money in the bank to secure the bank guarantee line. The person has doubled his money. And at the end of the day, I have 40% of the estate left. I give 20% of the houses to the landowner, and I take 20%. I did not put 1 naira from my pocket to do that estate. Tell me the type of business you want to do. I will show you how you can employ people and make over 1 million naira a month. I will show you how you can use sugar cane with a capital of 20,000 naira to make in excess of 1 million naira a month. Tell me the item you can think of in the market. A pot of soup can make you 1 million naira a month. Shaki can make you 1 million naira a month. Pomo can make you 1 million. Even grass can make you 1 million naira a month. I just want people to know that money flows in the streets of Nigeria. And I'm looking at the opportunity to actually open the eyes of a lot of people. Churches should invite us to come and talk to their people, to liberate them from poverty. State governors should invite us to come and talk to their state and their people on how we can reduce unemployment and poverty in their state by over 20%. Even the armed forces can also involve us to teach the wives of all those officers that are police, army, navy, and air force on how they can put food on the tables of their husband, to reduce corruption. Any government that is willing to collaborate with us, any NGO that is willing to collaborate with us, we will liberate their people from poverty and unemployment in Nigeria. Because the answer to solving the unemployment problem and poverty in Nigeria, we have it. And we are looking at people that we can collaborate with to make it happen. I used to be a banker. If you have worked in a bank before, haven't touched people's money, haven't had access to people that are very rich and access to people that are struggling. You know, when you are a banker, those who are rich will come and bring their money to you. They will tell you their success story. You will know the secret of their making money. And those who are struggling will come to you with their good ideas, and they will tell you they need money to make their ideas happen. If you have done that for 25 years and you have heard all this, it will fortify you. And that's what fortified me. Now I've actually had so much in the belly. And what I want to start doing and continuously doing for the rest of my life, I haven't spent over 50 years of the first part of my life, is to give back to the society that made it possible for me to go to school, that made it possible for me to have a job, to actually create the employment that made me feed my family and be able to send my children to school. I want to be able to give back to society, and I want to be remembered as that man that put smile in the faces of individuals. And I look forward to working with people that can make it happen as soon as possible, including you, Wow Catholic. I am a Catholic. I'm proud to be a Catholic.
Okay.
Because I'm in the church that God created. I'm not in a one-man's church that has a husband and wife as owners of the church. And I'm a practicing Catholic and devoted Catholic. I'm a member of the Pastoral Council of Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama. I also get involved in so many initiatives. Today, I'm the president of the Nigerian Radio Maria. I also get involved with the Catholic television. I supervise and support their financial initiative. I'm also involved in the Archdiocese. We are raising money for the cathedral. I'm a member of the finance committee. I'm also the vice president of the Catholic Men organization in my parish. I'm also the president of the Edo Delta community in my parish. So I'm a total Catholic. And above all, I'm a communicant, which is the most important thing in the Catholic Church. I hope the bishop, the cardinal, will give me the opportunity to actually empower Catholics. Because one of the big, I know Catholic, we have a platform that we use to support people that are very needy, St. Vincent de Paul. But I'm saying today that every organization that is in the Catholic Church, I want to have the opportunity of having a word, a presentation to them to make them see how easy wealth can be created. The CWO, Catholic Women Organization, the CMO, Catholic Men Organization, and the youth, the SION, the Catholic Youth Organization of Nigeria. We need to create the enabling environment to open the eyes of our youth. A lot of them are running to look for miracles in the Pentecostal churches and all that, when they have all the things that they need in the Catholic Church. I want to be able to actually create the opportunity to have audience, to continuously open the eyes of Catholics on how they can start most businesses with little or nothing. And for those in business, how they can double the volume of business they are doing. For the priest, I am daring that any priest that I can actually have access to, I will create the enabling environment in that parish to actually create the enabling environment for people in that parish to self-provide for that parish and ensure that the skills that we have in that parish is actually used for the betterment of those who are lacking. Because in Catholic Church, we have everything. If you go to my parish, for instance, we have over 7,000 parishioners. Creating a business environment where people can network and help themselves. Everything you need in Nigeria is available. Everything you need, the people you need are around you. The problem we have in Nigeria today is that we don't have the means of harnessing the collaborative opportunity that can bring people together who have talent, who have money, and who are in government. Once we can do that, we will be able to solve the problem of Nigeria with ease. Above all, I preach collaboration. Collaboration is one other thing that we need to start doing in our environment. A lot of people are just themselves. You see someone that has talent, is not a marketer, but is a manufacturer, but he doesn't know how to market the goods. You see someone that is very good in marketing, he doesn't have access to the goods to sell. You see somebody that has a network that they can use the internet to do business, and they are not able to come together. So bringing these people together continuously with collaborative opportunities and initiative will solve the problem in Nigeria. I throw it back to you, Catholic, while Catholic, you have the responsibility to collaborate with FMG Empowerment Company so that we can actually open the eyes of Catholics all over Nigeria. If we work together, you can publicize what we need to do, and I'll bring the resources together, and we'll be able to put smiles in the faces of all Catholics. I want to put smiles in the faces of people. It's better than giving them money. It's better than showing them what they don't see. If you put smile on any individual, the more people you put smile on their faces, the more you earn in the graces of God that are bound. Because God created us in his own image. And he created us to do things in his ways. And God is love. And anybody that actually keys into that doctrine and that value that God creates, you can never go wrong. And I want to emulate God so that when I die, I will be remembered like Jesus Christ. Nigeria will be able to solve their unemployment problem because we'll be able to get out to government to know that they need to change the style of education that we have in Nigeria. Education has moved beyond where we are now. In civilized environments, more people are doing things that the hand can create. More people are being creative. More people are using the ICT and the internet to do a lot of things. We are still old modern, still using the routine way of training people and all that. We need to change the education system so that our graduates can come out and be able to apply what they read and what they actually obtain in degrees. We need to up our game with having technical schools, vocational schools that can actually help people who want to do vocational programs. Do you know today that very soon we will have artisans employ graduates? Because the graduates we are churning out, in their numbers, are not able to apply the education that they obtain. And the artisans we have, people look down on them and they are not able to produce artisans. I can tell you today, we actually import a lot of artisans from Ghana, from Ivory Coast, and all sort of Benin Republic to do jobs here in Nigeria. Meanwhile, an artisan can employ 5 graduates and make more money than the salary that they pay to graduates that are currently between the minimum wage of 30,000 to 100,000 naira. An artisan will make over 100,000 naira employing a graduate at the end. I can give you a lot of examples of how I can employ a graduate and I will make 10 times what the graduate is earning. If I put a notice out there today that I want to employ a lawyer and I'm willing to pay 100,000 naira a month, a lot of lawyers will come to me. If I employ one of them and lock them up in the room in this office and I tell him all you'll be doing in this office is write agreement, and turn around and go to 5 Catholic churches, Catholic parishes, and announce in those parishes that anybody that wants to do any type of agreement should come to me. I don't charge 5%. I don't charge 10%. I charge only 20,000 naira. Over 100 people will come to do agreements in my office. I will make 2 million naira a month, and I will pay the lawyer that is doing the job 100,000. In Nigeria today, 90% of our graduates want to be employed like that lawyer and earn 100,000 naira. I just made 2 million naira using a lawyer to create employment, and at the end of the day, I make 1.9 million naira as income for myself. We need to tell a lot of people these opportunities, because anybody you employ, anybody you get to employ, you can actually put to use and make more money. And there are very, very talented people on the street, jobless, looking for a job. If we show them how to create job, they will employ other people that are still looking for the job. We'll reduce unemployment in the market by over 20 to 30%. Tell the president that I'm willing to offer this solution to Nigeria.